You missed me, didn't you? Well, hello there, guys. My name is Vaderfly. I hope you guys are doing well and amazing out there. You guys are beautiful out there and just all around just being very cool. I versus Deadpool and Wolverine, and I, needless to say, had a good time. Now, there are some bad parts and there are some good parts. I would first like to say that did this movie save the MCU? No, it did not. But was this a fun movie when you turn your brain off and not think about it? Yeah, but there were definitely things that I would say definitely contradicts. I wouldn't say contradicts, but it definitely creates more problems for the MCU in the future, especially for multiverses, which, funny enough, one of the characters calls out in the movie. But I definitely would like to start with the good parts. So, needless to say, once again, Deadpool was on top of his game. I felt like there were some jokes that were kind of pushing it. I think it's gonna be in like 5, 6, even 8 years down the road when people watch this movie again, that it's gonna be dated, and I think that's gonna hurt this movie especially. I feel like all three of the Deadpool movies could feel that effect, but I don't feel like the first two Deadpool movies could feel that effect compared to this third one, because it deals with a lot more stuff, but that's besides the point. Another thing, the action scenes were visceral. I mean, oh my god, in your face bloody. It was amazing. When they played with the R, they meant they played with the R, so that was great, especially the Honda scene. That was just, I think I'm not the only one that's quoted that scene, but I've seen other reviews at this point that have basically said the same thing that I'm saying. The Honda scene was one of the favorites. Another thing that I would definitely say, the choice of music, amazing. The characters, amazing. What they had to work with, amazing. A lot of that kind of stuff was absolutely out of the park. It felt like a show. It felt like a movie that really was just trying to end off the Fox era, and you could tell with the little homages and things like that, where I was like, okay, this is definitely going to end the Fox era. And especially the credits, oh my god, the credits hit you in the field, because if you've been watching the X-Men movies from like day one, the credits are going to be definitely for you. Another good thing about this movie, I definitely enjoyed the visual aesthetic about this movie. There were some parts where the CGI was very apparent, but past that, the CGI aesthetic was pretty good. I'm not going to do any spoilers for this video. I'd rather people go out and watch it. Probably in a week I'll talk more of the things that kind of I didn't like more in depth. Definitely this was a fun movie. Once again, is it going to save the MCU? No, it's not going to save the MCU. I don't think this is going to save the MCU by any chance. MCU needs a couple of hits after this to really save it, and I don't think Captain America Brave New World's gonna be it. I don't think the Fantastic Four is gonna be it. I don't think Thunderbolts is gonna be it. It's gonna have to take some healing, because it's definitely, while like I mentioned, there were some good things, there were some bad things, and like, here are the bad things about this movie. One of the things I disliked about this movie was the villain. I am a huge fan of Cassandra Nova. I don't take this lightly, because Cassandra Nova is just like, she is like a god. It's kind of hard for me to be like behind her character when she just feels like a typical MCU villain. And I know, once again, it's supposed to be just this fun film, but for her to go out the way she does, it's kind of like, really? I don't know. I do appreciate the actress who put her all into it. She really did bring out the menacing nature of Cassandra Nova, because Cassandra Nova is this person that's got this, if you've ever read the comics, she's got this sweet nature about her, but she's fucking evil. She's just evil through and through, and I appreciate that, but she was just another MCU villain. That's what she was. Oh, I did a bad thing here and I did a bad thing here, but I'm still very evil, and I'm just like, okay. The TVA, yet again, I just gonna say it, I think that they kind of ruined this movie, because now it leaves more questions to be answered. And I get it, because there were formed because of Loki and all the events of Loki, but it does leave to question a lot of stuff now, because now I'm like, now you guys are playing way more fast and loose with these rules than you once before. The whole problem with a multiverse is that you gotta be smart to write a multiverse. Multiverses are not an easy thing to write. You can't just be like, oh, well, there's a version of this person, there's a version of this person. If you're setting up rules where you are talking about different like points and times with the multiverse, you're going to run into problems. That's exactly the problem I have with Across the Spider-Verse. When you start adding more rules to your verse, to your multiverse, it actually starts making it worse. And I think this avoided it as best as it could, but it still ran into those problems, and it just kind of leaves you going, well, now phase 4 really doesn't make a lot of sense with the entry of this movie. Another big thing for me, I think, was while there was the jokes and the humor, I think it just got a little overbearing at a point where it's just like, what I liked about Deadpool 1 was that it had its jokes and humor, but when it got to its serious moments, like it hit its serious moments really hard. And don't get me wrong, it does have those moments. Deadpool 3 does have those same moments, and it's not like, oh man, it's way different because it's now into the MCU. No, it still has its moments, but it just, I don't know, it just felt different, and I don't know what it was. Maybe on a second watching I could pick it up, but I don't know. I think overall this movie was fun. There was a lot of cameos, which to some people are gonna be like, oh my god, but some people are gonna be happy. I felt like they treated some of the characters' cameos with respect, and I felt like they honored their legacies with this movie, and I thought that was a great thing. There was a lot of comic book cameos, which, yes, and because I don't want to hear an MCU fan go, I totally knew about this Wolverine. It's like, did you though? Did you really? Because they pull like some deep pulls from the comic books, and like there's some stuff like, this is gonna be a little spoiler from the newest run, from the Captain America run back in 2016. No, it was 2017. You actually see his heater shield. It's hidden, and I was like, oh, so it really was like aiming at me who reads the comics, and I was like, oh, there's his heater shield. Oh, what? So it was actually kind of cool to see that kind of stuff. Overall, I think this is gonna be a fun movie. I think this movie is gonna be a big success. It's going to bring in a lot of people, and if you tell Disney and Marvel that this is the type of movies that you want to see, I think they're going to start producing more of these kind of movies. I don't think this is going to save the MCU. It's going to need a lot more work for it to be saved. I'm not jumping on that wagon. I'm not jumping on that, let's save now. It's not. It's going to need a lot more work than just one movie. It's gonna have to take a lot of work with the television shows. I'm not excited for Agatha. I'm not even gonna bother watching Agatha, and it's gonna take a lot more work, like trimming down these multiverse thing, because this from the jump, I always said that the multiverse was the biggest mistake that MCU had to go into, because I knew there was no way you could do these movies without having to interwoven everything. And that was the biggest thing. A lot of people were telling me, no, Vertify, you totally don't have to watch this to understand this, and you do. And this movie suffers from that too. Unfortunately, it suffers from, if you don't watch Loki, you kind of don't understand the TVA. And while they try to dumb the TVA down, it's still like, okay, you gotta watch Loki to understand this. And I mean, for crying out loud, Deadpool actually makes a joke about that, referencing something from Loki, the television show. So it kind of is like, this is what I feared, and it actually kind of hinders this movie a little bit. It doesn't hinder it a lot, but it does hinder the movie a little bit. So, needless to say, at the end of the day, I do like this movie. I do recommend this movie. Go tell Disney this is the movie you want to see. These movies are the ones you want to see. You don't want to see these movies that don't have a lot of substance to them. I mean, to be completely honest with you, this movie doesn't really have a lot of substance to it, but it has something different. It doesn't have somebody trying to smack you in the face about something. It's just when you're like, here's heroes. And like the Wolverine storyline got me a lot because it's something actually I'm kind of going through myself, and so it was like, feels. It hit me right in the feels. But definitely a lot of cheers in my audience. A lot of clapping, a lot of laughter. And then were some jokes that didn't hit, and the audience definitely reacted to that. But and all in all, I definitely say go see this movie if you can. Please go see it in theaters. If you're just checked out of the MCU at this point and you just don't care, I completely understand that. I completely respect that. If you are willing to give this movie a chance because you just want to see the ending for the Deadpool trilogy and also want to see Wolverine, I completely respect that as well. The action scenes were great. The music was great. Some of the dialogue was great. I just really was sad that they just did the typical MCU formula at the end, and typical MCU villain thing at the end, and I was a little sad about that. I really was hoping that we're gonna do some work here, but we'll see. Maybe they'll surprise me and they'll do something else. So that is all from me, ladies and gentlemen. I do love you guys. Love you guys so much, and I'm so glad to do this movie review for you guys. I'd also want to say thank you guys so much for getting me out to 250 subscribers. This is absolutely amazing, and without you, I'm not here. This is a healing journey, a journey of progress, and just trying to do my best for myself after years of my own bullshit. So once again, that Wolverine stuff that hit me. That really did hit me, and I might actually make a video on that once the movie's a little more older. So I will talk to you guys later. I love you guys. Remember, keep your head above water, keep your dreams alive. You are amazing true believers. I'll talk to you later.